first video on my YouTube channel, and I figured I should talk about my favorite running back, Chase mother freaking Brown, and whether or not he's the real future for our franchise. I've heard a lot of people back and forth on this, whether we should get Gene T in the first round or somebody else later on. I'm really opinionated on this. I really think Chase Brown is that guy. The only person to get more yards than him while he was starting was Saquon Barkley. There's some instances where he doesn't necessarily deliver all the time, but that could also be on Zach Taylor. I'm referring to the Pittsburgh Steelers game when it was late and we ran the ball like 3 times in a row when we had a chance to win the game, but we kicked a field goal and missed. Realistically, I think that's Zach Taylor's play calling. We had the worst right guard in all of football. Our offensive line situation was horrible for most of the year, and he still was a huge light in that. Just watching him play, it's like a lightning bolt out of the backfield. And he's not a big, strong guy. He's really more elusive, and man, is he elusive. He was good on goal line situations, don't get me wrong. I actually think he was very good. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to getting somebody in the 4th through 6th round because we don't have a 7th round draft pick, but to be a backup. The point of this video is me saying Chase Brown is the future for Cincinnati. I mean, I think he'll be the best running back since Corey Dillon. I could be very wrong. He could have been a one season and done kind of guy, but I really don't think that's how it's going to go, because I read a report where he was showing up to training camp the year before at 3 hours, 2 hours early to make sure he was there and get his reps in before the actual practice. And those are the guys you want on the team, you know. Zach Taylor and Al Golden said in their interview, you know, how many gym rats can you get on one team? How many leaders can you get on one team? And I think that's the guy. And I think they see that just as much as I do, probably more. There's a lot of clips that I see and I'm just like, wow. Joe Mixon could never do that. Joe Mixon was good in his own right. He is not capable of producing the same amount of explosive plays that Chase Brown is. And he's not as good of a pass catcher. Chase Brown is an actual safety net for Joe Burrow out in the flat or doing whatever, especially in that touchdown. I can't remember who it was, but when he got both of his feet in the end zone, Joe Burrow scramble play, sees Chase Brown in the back of the end zone, makes an incredible catch, gets both feet tippy-toed in the back of the end zone. Running backs aren't necessarily doing that. Joe Mixon never was that. And I think that would complement our offense the best out of any other option there is out there, whether that be free agency or the draft. I mean, we're a pass-first offense, and we should keep being that way because it works. I think Chase Brown has solidified his spot as a starter. Maybe he'll get split carries with somebody next year, but I definitely think he'll get the majority. I just don't see a direction we should go other than keeping him as our RB1, maybe adding an RB2 to lighten the workload. But genuinely, Chase Brown is my favorite player on the Bengals right now. I went to the Broncos game later on this year. 30-24 overtime win. He unfortunately got injured. Of course, the one game I go to and wear his jersey, he gets injured. That was a great experience. Oh my God, I wish I could just talk about that the whole time. Seeing him in person really opened my eyes to how fast he really is. And my dad went to the Pittsburgh game, the second one later on in the season, and the 40-yard run, 50-yard run where he broke off and got down at the 1-yard line. My dad said he'd never seen anything like it. And I mean, we don't go to a lot of games, so that's probably why. Dude, he's lightning quick, and it's like his acceleration is uncanny. He puts one foot in the ground, he's past the line of scrimmage. Like, through these tiny gaps that these offensive line are creating for him, and he's producing large amounts of yards off of them. I don't see us not keeping it. He's proven it. And I mean, if he fails this year coming up, obviously we should move on, but he's earned his spot for this year at the very minimum. And I hope we can keep him after his rookie contract expires. I think we have this year and then next year. So he might get an extension next year. If not, he'll hit free agency, franchise tag, whatever. But if he pops off, we might not be able to afford him. In this clip, I mean, he's just elevating to the outside so fast. He's just laterally quick. And the stiff arm to finish it off. He's an angry runner. This is my second favorite clip. The way he hugs the lineman before breaking off, I mean, that's just special, you know. I might be glazing, but the Le'Veon Bell type of patience, bro, that's just different. The way he hits those gaps, it's different. This is what I was talking about in goal line situation. He just, boom, right through that hole. Faster than the safety, can close the hole. He's not breaking bodies like a Derrick Henry, but he's shooting gaps before people can close it. And if you don't have leverage on him, he's an angry runner. He'll get through an arm or just a slight little wrap tackle. And this is arguably his best clip all year. The patience is really, really huge in this one. The way he shoots behind Ted Karras and just wide open field. Nobody's catching him in those scenarios, and that's not the same with Joe Mixon. Now, when he was drafted, I wasn't really familiar with Chase Brown out of Illinois. He was a round 4 pick. I wasn't really that hype about him. Nobody was really paying attention to us last year because Joe Burrow got hurt week 10. Like, he had a really long breakaway run, and it's slipping my mind right now, but it was beautiful, and that gave me high hopes for him next season. I was like, we got Chase Brown. When Joe Mixon was traded to the Texans, I was like, we got Chase Brown. Like, I'm not that worried. Maybe we should get somebody to back him up or be there so he can get more snaps off of somebody else. And that's what they did. They bring in Zach Moss to even out the playing field a little bit. Even though Zach Moss got the majority of carries for like the first 5 or 6 weeks, I started evening it out, and then Zach Moss unfortunately got injured for the rest of the season. But I mean, that might have been the best thing for Chase Brown because he really got to shine. He really got to show off what he's capable of. It made me really excited for next year, because I hope that they'll give him a clean slate, a full season to produce. And we pray nothing bad happens to him. He will show off. Like, he will do good. And there's no questioning in my mind about that. I think I would put Chase Brown in the top 10. That's definitely biased because I'm a Bengals fan and a Chase Brown fan. Chase Brown is a real weapon. And especially if we lose T. Higgins in the offseason, we're going to need all the help we can get because, you know, we're not going to be as efficient without T. That's just bold-faced facts. We're still going to be a great offense, but we're not going to have T. Higgins, so that's obviously a drop-off. Without T. Higgins, I think we could still very much succeed, but we're going to need a running game to do that, and Chase Brown is the answer. But Chase Brown is that guy. Chase Brown is that guy.